Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings. Oh, that's loud.
You're loud.
Good.
Okay.
Presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. The Avs win Game 1 of Round 2 against the St. Louis Blues in extremely dangerous fashion. Oh, man, there's no camera up. What a mess. We're a mess out here. 3-2 in overtime. Josh Manson is your game-winning goal scorer. There's a lot of stuff to cover in this game. I have a lot to talk about. I wasn't at the bar, so I didn't get to hear the chit-chat. But let's start with a 60-second rundown. And I'm going to make one of you three do it. I don't care which one.
Meghan?
Yep, it's Meghan time.
I really don't like doing it. Okay, I'm going to do my very best, though. It was, as we predicted, a weird game. We talked about it being like a scrimmage. I don't know if there's supposed to be a timer going.
No.
Okay.
We've changed it to where, like, there's no way we can fit
Okay,
it.
that takes a little bit of pressure
seconds.
off then. There were just a lot of weird bounces. That was evidenced in that first Ryan O'Reilly goal. It takes a weird bounce from Cale Makar, creates this turnover, and it leads to a goal against, and the Avs start the game down one goal.
Yeah.
Thankfully, though, Valnichushkin gets the Avs back within one and ties it up with his wrist shot. And then the goals kind of came from unexpected places on the Avalanche side, and Sam Girard and Josh Manson gets the OT winner. But what was happening in net for St. Louis was a lot of lucky opportunity with Binnington and the post. The Avs were hammering shots all game, but make no mistake, I don't think the Avs played their strongest hockey, and I think they were their own worst enemy throughout much of this game. Some of it, too, were just completely avoidable mistakes, like with the power play goal against when Jordan Kyrou, the Avs go off to make that change, and then suddenly they're skating back to try and get to the puck. And that happened earlier in the game, too, Burakovsky in a dump out. Thankfully, it just ended a scoring chance, and it didn't lead to a goal against. But overall, the Avs did come out, especially analytically, a better team, but this was a game that they narrowly escaped because they just made avoidable mistakes.
Yeah, I think avoidable.
A minute
mistake.
20.
I'm so sorry.
No,
I wondered at one point, like, I fully expected you to come out of that like Will Ferrell from Old School and be like, what happened?
I didn't like it. I don't like it.
We'll cut it out of
We'll cut it. Can I get a redo? Can the Avs get a redo?
They don't need a redo. They're up 1-0.
Yeah, they do.
It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm not real happy.
I'm sure we'll dive into all the reasons not to be happy, the preventable mistakes, all of it. But I do want to pose to you one question. The way the St. Louis Blues lost this game feels just so depressing. Like, how hard is it going to be to keep their heads in this series? In a game like this, like Meghan said, they're getting all the bounces. They're in a game 2-2 in overtime, and they can't get it over the line, knowing the Avs probably have more to give.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I don't know how St. Louis feels particularly good about this because there are no moral victories in the postseason. You either win the game or you lose. You're either up in the series or you're chasing. And there's no, like, pulling the feel good out of this. Their first goal comes off of a puck that bounces off of O'Reilly's skate, off of Schenn's skate, and lands on O'Reilly's stick behind everybody. And then he makes, like, a nice shot.
Yeah.
And then they catch the Avs in a change on the back door, and Sturm gets his stick on that puck, and it just keeps going magically, and Kemper can't make what's not a difficult save. Like, St. Louis, both of St. Louis's goals, not great. Like, Colorado's PK did everything well until the very end when they changed and they didn't need to.
Yeah.
That was awful situational hockey. 5 seconds left on the PK. Just let the guy out of the box and then deal with it. Like this like mad dash to get off the ice. It wasn't a full clear. Had it been a full send, sure, no issues. It wasn't though. And at the very end of the PK, you're inviting exactly what happened. So it was terrible situational hockey there. But like outside of that, like you're looking at it, they got a gift on the first goal. They execute on the second goal.
Yep.
But after that, where do you draw positives? Like Jordan Binnington, look, you could talk. Jordan Binnington played great. Jordan Binnington was this. He made this great save and that great save. He gets beat
I don't
5 times.
I don't even get 7 times.
Yeah.
He gets beat 5 times on pucks that don't go in. The Lehkonen great save in the third period. The Eric Johnson save
yeah.
on the back door.
Just lucky.
2 flubbed pucks that hit him. And like he puts himself in position to get in front of those. And that's luck in that the other team did not execute. That's not like random. Like their first goal starts with puck luck. A puck that goes off of O'Reilly and then off of Schenn and like that. Like that's great puck luck. But after that, the Blues' luck came in that Colorado failed to execute. Otherwise, this game is 8-2, and we're not. This pod starts an hour ago.
I don't even subscribe to the idea that Binnington played that well tonight, except for in overtime. In overtime, he made some quality saves. He looked better. Ultimately, we still lost. In regulation, I thought he looked pretty bad. He gave up an extremely soft goal to Sam Girard. He was giving out rebounds like candy, and the Avs just beat themselves.
Part of the fact that he makes great saves is because he gave up huge rebounds. Yep. I mean, the Makar in overtime, the Nichushkin scoring chance is entirely created by Jordan Binnington. Makar just like softly like floats the puck in on him, and he's just like, have a fat rebound, Val. And like then he makes a great save, and it's like
impressive.
Okay, so you made a nice save that you created, dude. Like it's such an interesting.
I agree with Rudo. He was more intentional in overtime, but seemed just lucky throughout much of regulation.
I mean, I thought he looked good in the third. He made some big saves there to keep it from, ending in the third.
Yeah.
The Blues played their best hockey probably in the third too.
Well, you know what's crazy about that too, though, is like the Avs defensively got better throughout the game. In the third and OT, St. Louis had 0 high danger chances at the net.
Interesting.
I thought St. Louis's best stretch of the game was overtime.
They did.
Like
they were
that was the stretch of the game where I felt like the ice was the least tilted.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves with the
Okay, sorry. You're not here to like stare me down and be like, stop, AJ.
It's hard from remote. It's a little bit difficult. Let's start with the first period because we've talked about the goal a little bit, but by the numbers, the most even period of the game was the first. Avs, I wouldn't even say played poorly. I think they were still probably the better team in the period. Obviously, the scoreboard doesn't reflect that. But from minute 1, to me...
God, was it that bad? Sorry. Chad is telling me that I'm very wrong about overtime. Okay.
Shots, Corsi 4 was like 14-2.
Chad told me it's 17-2, so okay.
It's pretty brutal.
It is, 17-2.
Okay.
The first period.
I lied. It's first period. Now we're back to where are the positives for St. Louis.
Really?
Sorry.
Not even in the third? What was it like for third there?
Third, 25-11.
At 5-on-5, it was done.
Yeah,
it felt bad. Like I mean, it felt like bad for St. Louis.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get to those special teams in a minute, but for the first period, it was a quality playoff hockey game, right? I'd probably give the Avs the edge a little bit in the underlines, but St. Louis gets the goal. How do you guys feel about it? Because on the watch along, a lot of the chat said, this feels a little bit rusty for the Avs. It feels like things aren't quite clicking. Was that the same vibe at the bar?
No, I don't think that. I think the first period both teams were rusty, and it was kind of sludgy, sloppy. A lot of like misconnections on both sides, where they weren't like turnovers. It was like a puck hops over a guy's stick, and it wasn't like, oh, this is a bad play here. These are just like they were guys who were not quite up to game speed. None of them having played an NHL game in a week.
Yeah. I just saw a lot of bad decision making, especially in the Avs defensive zone, where it just looked like you said, it's just they're not up to game speed. Get into a very quick game out of the gates there. Like both teams are flying, so you saw some bad decisions happening. Holding on to the puck a little too long, looking for
the timing of everything felt very, very, very
off. It was just off.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, that's something that you expect after a nice hiatus from playing hockey.
Yeah, and then the second period, I thought Colorado played just fine in that first period. The O'Reilly goal.
One big mistake, right?
Yeah. And like, how much do you crush a guy for a puck that does that? Like,
Yeah.
is there a better play for Makar to make? Obviously. But a puck that takes those bounces,
Those are weird.
Makar could make the exact same play and come nowhere near that bounce.
The problem for me was MacKinnon, because before it ever got to Makar, MacKinnon had a clear chance to clear it, and he failed. And you
That top
compound
line,
with
by the way, I don't know what their numbers look like, but just
pretty decent.
kept giving them opportunities here and there. They didn't, outside of the one goal against, didn't turn into anything, but they opened up the door in a way that during video tomorrow, they're going to be pulling. It'll be weird that they pull top line, but the top line, like Rantanen and MacKinnon, they gave
Mikko.
away a couple of opportunities in the defensive zone and just said, have another possession.
Mikko especially.
Mikko was not
It's
good
Jekyll
tonight.
hiding himself. It's
Oh,
like
Mikko! I
MacKinnon.
don't even want to say Mikko was not good. It was like little things from Mikko were frustrating, but then you see the play that he makes on the opening goal.
Yeah.
And like he bodies it, and it's great. It's just great hockey. And I think in the offensive zone, I really liked those guys. I thought the top line was just doing its thing. They could have scored 4 goals tonight.
Mikko was horrible in the defensive zone.
I would agree there. I would agree that there was a lot left there.
The microcosm of Mikko's game was halfway through the third period or something, where awful clear, right to the guy at the blue line, and then makes a YOLO send diving play to like recover it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like
The second effort
it's
there,
it's
yeah.
like Binnington kicking out a fat rebound and making a great save. Like, okay, you created a problem and then you solved it on your own.
Yeah.
But it did not need to happen in the first place.
Just like Binnington and the rebounds he created.
Yeah. I was going to say Binnington did not need to happen in the first place. I agree with you. Just get rid of him. Just Thanos snap that dude away.
Yes.
How much credit? Wow. Okay, those are loud.
I don't know what
Laugh
that.
track.
It sounded like waves.
How much credit do we want to get the Avs for being mentally still in this game after the first period? Because obviously they're down 1-0. They hit 3 posts. It feels like the bounces really aren't going their way early in this game. And then obviously they come out in the second, and I mean they just smash the Blues basically.
Yeah, I mean, 3 posts. You feel like you know the Kadri bomb, where he just like tattoos that crossbar. They should go and check. It's got a little 91 on it right now because that puck could not have caught that any more cleanly. And then like Mikko, like they turn it over on the forecheck. They prevent the exit, and it was O'Reilly. Like they take it from Ryan O'Reilly. That's the guy that doesn't make that mistake. Yep. And Rantanen smokes the post, and you're just like, dude. Like Lehkonen makes a great play to open up the space, get around the defender, and cuts in and smokes the post. Like it's just, boy, whatever book they had on Binnington where they were like, go after that glove. It worked. They just could not. You're talking the Avs were a combined full inch away from a 3-goal first period. Like,
I don't think the Avs were concerned after the first period. I mean, they got their chances right. It just on the scoreboard it was the other way. But you had to feel good about how they were playing at that point. Like again, we talked about the defensive zone wasn't very good at the beginning of it, but the offensive zone was clicking. They were getting chances. It wasn't like, oh man, they're not getting to the front of the net. They're not getting shots on goal. Just nothing was dropping.
And like where St. Louis had their success, it was quick.
Yeah.
Right? Like they would get down and it was, there's a little passing play and there's a shot on goal and then you're moving the other way. Yeah. Oh, there's 2 quick shots on goal and then you're moving the other way. It was very, very little sustained possession. It was just they rolled in and it was a lot of transition, and that's where St. Louis has been successful this year. They score a lot in transition and in creating high danger chances.
Yeah.
Their problem is that Colorado can play that game and plays that game better, as we saw.
Colorado play.
Yeah, like this is Blais and I actually had this conversation during the game. Was look, because we were talking about the lack of penalties, and we said, well, the flow of the game, it has not been a physical playoff game at all. And so there haven't been a lot of opportunities to draw penalties, take penalties, because they're so much in transition. Both teams were playing so much in space that it's not the same and it's not like 2-on-1s going the other way and guys are reaching for hands and diving and desperate.
Yeah.
So those, you're talking to the style of game just didn't lend itself to a lot of penalty calls because St. Louis is like, we don't want to play that game. And Colorado's like, okay, well, if you guys don't want to play the game that Nashville wanted to play, we'll play this game too. We really like this game. And where do you look at this and say that Colorado's not comfortable in this style of game? Yeah. This was St. Louis's formula for winning all season. This was during their power play. I'm like freaking out because I'm like, this is what they do. This is who they are. This has been bullshit. It's been working for 7 months. I hate all of this. They're about to score. And then they did, and they still lose. Yeah. And you're just like, dude, what more do you want from them? It was really good from Colorado. I mean, they played really well.
Yeah.
So,
Chat reporting that Girard goes to the X-ray room. Not a big surprise from that shot block he had that stung him. It was in the third period or the second, I forget. But not surprised to see him getting that checked out. But as Chad has also mentioned, he did play the entire rest of the game. So we'll see. Obviously not going to speculate on whether he's hurt or not. But that's just the news. And in other news, if you want the Nathan MacKinnon Cale Makar diet, Green Chef could be for you. Now, the great thing about Green Chef is when you're not eating Green Chef, you can still go eat Slurpees and candy and all of that stuff. But if you want the healthy food, they've got you covered. Green Chef is a CCOF certified meal kit company, and they make eating well easy with plans to fit every single lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. They have an option for you. All over the place. They're premium and organic with fresh produce, premium proteins, all the organic ingredients you can trust. They're the #1 meal kit for eating well. They're super easy. It's just like other meal kits. If you ever use those, you just get the packages, you open them up, you cook them. You don't have to spend all that time prepping and all that other stuff. So highly recommend if you have a little time to make your meals and things like that. They offer 24 always changing recipes to choose from every week, so you're not locked in. You can pick and choose which meals you want on every single week. Get the things that look good, which most of their stuff is really good. I had the chance to get some of it from Green Chef and all. I highly recommend their proteins. Their meats are genuine top quality stuff. You gotta go get your hands on some Green Chef meat. It's really, really tasty. So go jump on that. You can head on over to greenchef.com/DNVRAvs130 and be sure to use the code DNVRAvs130 to get $130 off plus free shipping on your first order. So again, greenchef.com/DNVRAvs130. Be sure to jump on that and get the #1 meal kit for eating well. Also, as always, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. You can use code DNVR to sign up for a new account there. Bet on any NBA playoff game, just $5, and they just give you $150. Just $150 to go bet on Josh Manson to score the game-winning goal. Why not?
Right.
Why not jump? I bet if you bet on that, I bet you made an absurd amount of dollars. I would put it that way for sure. You can also bet on more realistic things. Cale Makar got a point tonight. Incredibly, by the way, Cale Makar did not play well, but got a point. So count it on the tick box. Jump on it. Head on over to DraftKings again. Use that DNVR code. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. Other terms, restrictions, and conditions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Of course, if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
Almost did it.
Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Second period of this hockey game. You end up getting goals from Val Nichushkin and Sam Girard. Let's start with the Val goal. The top line does ultimately get rewarded for their quality offensive zone play. We saw a lot of juggling of the lines, I would say, tonight. You saw at times Bednar putting the three-headed monster back together for offensive zone faceoffs. You saw the second and third lines get swapped all over the place. Did that first line at least offensively help steady them, or did they just make it work?
Throwing it to me. No, I do think it helped to study them. There were a lot of weird things happening throughout each of the lines, and they had a great night at the face-off dot. So I actually think that probably helped them with some puck possession as well.
Did a good job creating offense off the face-off too, because they were winning it, and then they were doing they had every team has their set play, but I thought they did a good job not just with the winning the face-off, but what happened after. Because a lot of times you'll see like a one face-off, and it's like, oh, it's like this 50-50 puck along the wall, and it gets cleared up, and you're like, wow, that was a great win. But I thought they did a good job of actually creating offense off of that, and like forcing Binnington to make saves, find the puck through traffic. It always looks really easy when a guy just throws a puck and he just catches it in his glove, and then they go back to it. But then you get one like the Girard goal where, or I guess the Girard and the Manson goal where he doesn't pick it up cleanly and it just gets through him. And I thought that was, it was effective. They were getting opportunities in that way, and they were doing something with them.
I think they learned as they went along, too. I feel like there were things like in Val at the start of the game that I thought he was not doing very well that seemed to improve throughout the course of the game, too. Kind of similar for Mikko. I think that there's a lot that they're going to build on from this game in recognizing what they needed to work on, too. The top line especially. Yeah,
and look, you do get that. You get goals from your second pairing. Both Girard and Manson give you goals.
Yep.
Cale Makar doesn't get a point. Your top line gives you one.
The point away.
They did, yeah. MacKinnon got it. And the ultimate leech, I think Mikko got one as well. So you're like, you're talking like your stars here. What the thing that separates you from so many teams is that your high end talent wins you so many games. And the whole thing was St. Louis. Their whole bread and butter, their whole selling point about what makes them scary is their depth. And Colorado's depth just beat them. And their star players had a hand in it, but they get 2 goals from their second pairing. That could very easily be 2 goals from their top pairing in game 2.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to speak it into existence if there is actually an injury to Girard. But
yeah, I mean we'll find that out, right? We'll see.
It's not the most dire stakes, and hopefully that's just precautionary.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to speak that into existence, but there's just a lot.
At this point, he either is or he isn't. A couple blocks away, he's either got swelling going on and they're managing it, or he's good. We'll see how it is.
You just gotta respit him.
But with Girard, I mean, this was the guy that you waited all year to see. He had a down year. There were frustrations. He was very obviously battling injury. Was never really himself. And I think we were 5 minutes in the first period, and Blais was like, "Dude, Girard's feeling it."
Yeah.
And everyone tonight, the entire chat, everyone
yeah.
was like, "Oh, Sammy G is here." Okay.
Yeah, it was like, dude. So this is the Sam Girard we've been waiting to see. And what happens in that game? He has a goal. He has a goal and an assist.
Yep.
Did he pick up an assist?
He did.
Maybe just a goal.
Oh no, it looks like not.
All
it's
right.
on the ice for the game winner though.
No,
I thought he had. Anyway,
just a goal.
Oh, okay.
should really look at the box score before doing this.
No, it's
He
all right.
played well defensively too. He
and
did a lot of nice
this is the
things.
Sam Girard that this is what makes Colorado scary this postseason is that Girard Manson is such a gigantic leap up from Girard and the revolving door of partners that he had last postseason, where it was Graves, it was Nemeth, it was Timmins. It was using Girard to try and lift up all those other guys while you had your hard top pairing. Girard has had an actual partner in Josh Manson for the last month. That pairing had a feeling out period and started to show major flashes at the end of the year. Even when the team was playing like shit, that pairing had its moments. Since the postseason has started, that pairing has been pretty good. There will be moments. Girard obviously had the whoopsie in game 2. In game 2, where the puck got by him. But otherwise, you're talking about, that's the second pairing drove a victory in the playoffs last. That was not something that could have happened last year.
Since we're talking him up, Sammy G is the king of the game. I picked him. No, you can't convince me to give it to Josh Manson, no matter what happened. Sammy G was the best player on the ice. Oh, did he put it as AJ because AJ said Manson or something? That's fine.
I guess we'll see.
Ultimately, producer's choice, right? He's the one doing it.
I think I
Who'd you
saw
side
it.
with?
Yeah, let's go. And the winner is
Soft. Wrong answer.
Josh Manson.
Wrong answer.
I also misspelled winning.
I understand why you give it to him, but Sam Girard was the best Av in this game.
Yeah, but Josh Manson was also awesome in this game.
He was
physical. He made plays with the puck on a regular basis in this game. Like, really, the king of the game should have just been that pairing.
True.
Like, truth be told, they scored 2 goals for you. They give you Josh Manson's the one who had a goal and an assist. Yeah. They give you 3 points. They get it done.
He drew a
on a night where
penalty.
your top pairing was good process-wise, but didn't finish, and like was not game-changingly and breathtakingly amazing. You had the next guys step up for you. This is how you do it. This is how a winning team gets it done. Is that, hey, okay, those guys don't have the greatest game. You're not dominating. It's not MacKinnon. It's not Makar. It's not Mikko. All right, where's it going to come from? Girard gets one. Manson gets one. It's great. Like, you don't expect, you're not just like, oh, Sam Girard will be this every single night. This could be the best game that this pairing has in the postseason, but you needed it. Yeah. You need it. It got you across the finish line.
It's time for you guys to do those winner shots.
Yeah, let's do that.
There, so
yours doesn't even have red in any anymore.
Before they get any warmer.
Word.
While they're doing the winner shots,
cheers.
I will say, we don't live in an alternate universe. We live in the universe where the Avs won this game 3-2 in overtime. But if you're St. Louis coming out of this game, you're going, boy, this game could have been like 6-2 Colorado pretty easily. We had a chance to steal one and failed to do so.
Yeah, like Jordan Binnington, the Avs tie an NHL record for posts hit in a playoff game.
That was my king of the game, by the way.
The post.
The post.
But like, you do get what did they end up with? He ended up with like 48 saves or something. Like, Jordan Binnington had an awesome night here.
Yeah.
And we could pick apart the 5 posts, and he gives up 3 goals, and so 8 pucks got by him tonight, and the Avs flubbed 2 golden scoring chances that he ends up stopping with Lehkonen and Eric Johnson. Great, but
51 saves.
51 saves. Are you going into battle in any future games going, all right, well, if we get our shit kicked in like that again, we need 51 saves to get to overtime.
Yeah. Bennington gets to walk around with knives in the locker room.
I said he should have a pool noodle. I don't want him to have any knives.
Pool noodle.
The safety
Good
knife.
point. It's a good point.
He could actually stab somebody.
He could do some damage with the noodle.
The way he was giving out those rebounds, his pads kind of felt like pool noodles.
Oh, man. Yeah, we were talking about that, too.
I wonder what a puck would do if you gave
Off
a
a pool
goalie.
noodle?
Yeah, if you gave him for leg pads pool noodles.
Pool noodles.
We need to sports science this summer.
There's a joke
Yeah,
to
it'd
be
be a
made about a
broken
beach
leg.
ball in here somewhere.
Yeah.
There it is. But 8 beach balls get past Jordan Binnington.
No.
There's a math problem now. Okay. So getting into the third period for Colorado, I thought the first 10 minutes of the third period were excellent quality, safe, solid play from the Avs. I really had 0 complaints on that front. And then we get to the penalties, which I will talk about right after I talk about Avaca TV, which, by the way, you might be watching us right now on Avaca TV. If you are, hello. We are live on Avaca TV now. There's a DNVR channel.
We have a
on
TV
Avaca
channel.
TV. Yeah, it's
You're a
kind of
TV
sick.
star.
Don't say that. Don't say that. I'm already uncomfortable enough with people recognizing me in public. I don't need somebody saying that.
Will you sign my baby?
No.
head on over to Avaca.
Get out of here.
/DNVR. That's evoca.tv/DNVR to sign up today. Just $15 a month for the first 3 months, and only $25 a month after that. It is only available in the Denver metro area. I think it's available in Fort Collins and some places in like Idaho or something also. So make sure you're in their local region. But if you are, you can sign up. It's a great deal. It has altitude. It has AT&T Sportsnet. It has national channels. So you can watch all the sports you need as far as Colorado's concerned. And it has us. So you just it's literally like you just flip the channel from altitude to the DNVR channel, and you're watching the DNVR postgame. It's that easy. Highly recommend you go check them out. Super awesome thing. Again, that's avaca.tv/DNVR to sign up today. Also brought to you, of course, by Breckenridge Brewery, the official
Son of a
beer
bitch.
of DNVR. We got 8 different kinds on tap down at the bar, and you can also find it at your local liquor store. Use the Breck Brew Locator online to find it near you. I wish I was drinking one right now, but don't drink beer when you're sick. That's bad. You don't do that. So I'm not doing that. I'm refraining for the time.
Are you a doctor?
I might be. I don't know. Let me check. No, that doesn't look like I'm a doctor. But
Oh, okay.
go get yourself some Breck Brew. Probably not as good for you as a doctor, but at least it's tasty. Third
Yeah, but
period.
you can't eat a doctor. You shouldn't eat a doctor. Instant regret. You shouldn't eat the doctor.
Definitely could. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. I said it live.
Is this TV appropriate content? Am I allowed to joke about cannibalism?
Sure.
When you're the star.
Great.
I said it live on the watch long when the Avs drew that second power play in the third period, the first power play of the third period, the second power play of the game. You knew St. Louis was getting a call coming back the other way. You knew. You just knew. So Avs failed to finish the job, and if you're nitpicking the Avs game, it has to be special teams here tonight, right? Ultimately 0 for 3 on the power play, and they're 1 for 1 against on the penalty kill.
They
Yeah.
looked horrendous on the power play as well. Like,
I thought the third power play, the one going into overtime, and then obviously the split
had more chances, but like they were having
Second one
issues
was
again with the zone entry where
It was bumbly.
What's funny is like
was it Taves?
We get like endlessly frustrated by this,
Yeah.
but then you go and you actually look at the numbers, and the Avs are 7 million miles away from every other NHL team in controlled entries on the power play. They're the best team in the league at it, and they just did not do it at a high level today.
Oh, I mean
They were bad. Like
Ju-
they wasted most of their 3 power play opportunities dicking around with it.
Yeah. I mean, Devon Taves looked lost at center ice there.
Oh yeah, when they
When he was
stopped
like,
the drop
yeah,
pass to
yeah,
Berkey,
where
they
it's
took
like-
it away, and he goes, "Okay, well I guess I'll carry it up." And then one guy made a move, and he goes, "Oh, I don't want to do that."
Yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't even mind it on the first power play in the second period. They were doing different things. You saw Cale Makar jump up and carry a puck in. It looked decent. They just didn't score. And then the second one happened, and that one was awful.
I
one
thought,
was
like,
bad.
I think they're. God, now I'm doubting it. I don't remember which of the first. I liked one of their power plays where I was just like, damn it. But we saw at such a high level against Nashville, it's hard to see it. Like, the St. Louis is very good on the PK, so there's that to consider as well, that they're a great PK team. And obviously, like, Jordan Binnington's playing well, like, goalie's best PKer, blah, blah, blah.
The other side of this, if you had more,
Go ahead.
The other side of this is, honestly, that was a good PK. It was a minute 30 of quality PK time.
Yeah, their PK was good for a minute 50. If
then
they just
one
don't
shit
change.
Yeah.
If they just don't change. And that's why I said it was bad situational hockey. They should have just
It's
cleared the zone and stayed. I know
And
that
it's
they had been out there and that getting back to even strength, they were worried about getting caught and being out there for like 2 full minutes. I totally get the fear, but they opened when Girard does a good job getting the puck down the ice, but not all the way. They have to recognize it's not all the way. And okay, at least one of you has to stay out wide to prevent what happened.
Yeah.
And then, even then, with the bad change, And the aggressive play by St. Louis.
Still.
Two guys do the same thing.
Yeah.
You can't have a jailbreak like that.
I think
that's
that
atrocious between, I think it was EJ and Sturm.
Was it Sturm?
It was-
Atrocious. And Sturm almost makes the play.
Yeah.
He gets his stick on the puck. The puck just keeps going enough. And then Darcy Kemper, soft.
Yeah.
It's a soft goal.
But if EJ just goes through right and Sturm stops in the slot.
Right. If they don't do
Nothing
the
happens.
exact same thing,
Yeah.
you're talking about they get possession, they're in the zone, we don't know what happens
Still-
from there, but it's not what happened. And then all of that considered, it's not even a quality shot on goal. Darcy, what the shit, dude?
Top to bottom could have been a better play. I agree. That slips 5-hole on Darcy, and you're going, boy, you really need that one.
Yeah.
But it starts with Andrew Cogliano. He's the guy that needed to not change. Girard, I get it. He went over to that side. He was pushed up. The bench is right there. I get it. But Cogliano comes all the way across and coasts to the bench, and that side of the ice is just wide open. You just need more awareness in that situation on the PK. That's all there is to it. And look, obviously the Avs win the game, so we get to sit here and say, wow, that was really bad. Shouldn't do that next time, instead of like, well, this kind of cost the Avs the game.
It hands them, all of the bad process, the bad change, and everything that's bad about it, all of it goes away if Darcy Kemper makes just a really basic save there.
Yeah.
That is not a special shot. It's a high danger chance. It's a really good scoring chance. It's the exact kind you don't want to give Jordan Kyrou, but he doesn't do a lot with it, and Kemper just olays that puck.
I see chat talking about it. I don't really have anything to say about Schenn getting mad about a penalty call where he hit a dude in the face with his stick. And ultimately, the Blues have no leg to stand on here because they won the special teams battle 1-0.
Yeah.
The calls ended up not mattering.
At most, you could argue that Colorado getting the power play at the start of overtime gave them, pushed them in the right direction momentum-wise for overtime to ultimately go. Apparently was completely dominant.
Yeah.
It pushed them 17-2.
Yeah, 13-0 in shots on goal where you're just like, oh, you're getting your ass kicked. But beyond that, I can understand, I understand the frustration with that call, but how often do we talk about it? There's no gray area there. If you hit a
contact,
dude, if you hit a dude in the face with your stick and it's not a follow through, it's a penalty.
Yep.
There's no adjudicating it. There's no gray area for you to be like, well, he was actually at knee level and falling down at the time. You're swinging the stick wildly and you hit a guy in the face with him. That's a penalty. I was shocked by the call because I didn't understand it the first 5 replays. But when you see it, it's like, oh, yeah, you know what? He does clip him.
Yep. He catches him with
am I
the
wrong?
stick.
It's just a penalty, right?
I thought it was just a well-officiated game altogether.
Yeah.
I know that's a bold take. I didn't have an issue with the Taves call either.
It's just the time. It's just the timing of it, right?
I think when it's 2 power plays for Colorado and it's none for St. Louis, it's the final 5 minutes. They're down by
knew it was
1.
coming. Yeah,
you feel you're the officials are looking for something so they can say we at least gave the Blues a chance here. Why that is the case continues to be one of those things that frustrates. I don't think that that's a penalty.
I don't get it.
I think that that's a really, 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 really standard encounter in the corner where a guy kind of
do that 20 times a game, man.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was. We are dying to make a call on Colorado because it's getting late and we haven't called one yet, and we just gave St. Louis one. And that's a penalty that where Taves got tripped. So very obvious. You got to call it. There's not a lot of leeway there. And I just thought the Taves one, I was like, this is soft. But had it not been that, it would have been something else.
Right. Yep. Ultimately, the Avs should have scored on their power plays or killed the penalty if they wanted to win this game in regulation.
Yeah, and they killed. You kill a minute 45, a minute 50 of it. It's just the change.
Yep.
If you don't completely blow the change, the jailbreak, getting back on the ice, and the save, all elements of that, they failed all elements of them. And if one of them had not failed, if one of those elements had not failed, that doesn't happen, and we don't know how the game ends. But you feel good, given the defensive effort. You feel good that Colorado probably hangs on in regulation.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to
We
the
at least
overtime
get
and
to
then
the
we'll
empty
do
net
Avs.
goal portion of the comeback attempt.
Yeah, make them earn it.
Yeah. Yep.
Ultimately, they don't stop the goal. It goes to overtime. As already mentioned, the Avs absolutely smoked St. Louis in this overtime. It was not two competitive teams. It was the Avs playing shoot around and the St. Louis drowning. And ultimately, a shot from the point goes in from Josh Manson that just kind of finds its way through.
Great play by Manson. Like, low-key, this is not like, oh, got the puck and threw it at the net, you know? He gets the puck. He waits out traffic in front because he's like,
Takes
oh,
a
look,
fake slapper, yep.
there's a whole bunch of dudes. And then he waits the extra second, and you can see the shooting lane on the replay.
Yep.
You just watch it. All the bodies, because they're playing on ice, all the bodies just get out of the way. They just slid. He cuts back. He drags it back inside a little bit, just waits out the traffic, gets the shooting lane, and then the guys behind the net, Landeskog and Kadri, who were behind the net that created that opportunity, both go to the front of the net, put that butt in the face, and you can see Jordan Binnington doesn't
Never
react.
Saw it. Yeah, he never saw that puck.
That goal goes in, and he's still like, oh, we lost? I never saw it.
Yep.
And that's because they put that traffic right in front of him, and Manson waited for a shooting lane instead of just blindly throwing it and being like, gotta do it. He waited it out, picked the spots. A smart play.
Yep.
And good execution. Wasn't a low shot. He's not trying to go for a tip. He's trying to get exactly what happened. He's trying to put it into a competitive spot where a screen beats him, basically. Yep. And that's what it was. That's exactly how it was. It was just good hockey right there.
Yep.
You're talking about comps of this year to last year, and everyone in chat's doing it. Overtime, round 2. Josh Manson fakes a slapper, finds a lane, gets a shot through. Versus Ryan Graves, who takes 2 slappers right into the first dude. Puck goes the other way, and the Avs lose the game.
Rush the other way. Yep.
Yeah.
Seen it before.
Obviously those aren't one-to-one comparables, but stuff like that is going to stand out when you see those differences and see the Avs win a game versus lose one. So.
Yeah. Well, and now the Avs, in each series, the Avs have been pushed by a great goaltending performance. Connor Ingram throws up, 49 saves, I think, in game 2?
Yeah.
And they get a 51 save performance out of Jordan Binnington. Colorado's 2-0 in games that goaltenders have done everything they could to steal.
Yeah, it should be you got goalied tonight.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and that's why Calgary is in the second round and Dallas is at home. Because good teams find their way through that adversity. They just keep going.
Yep.
Those quality teams, they don't get down. They don't, you saw Kadri's reaction on the EJ backdoor flub where he's like,
so devastated.
this is why I don't pass to anybody ever.
That one was bad.
Like, you could see that frustration was there early in the game because they felt like, God, we're creating so much offense. Oh. And so they did a really good job there. And then, again, like, you're going to expect, look, the shots on goal won't look like this whole series. You expect that they will be in Colorado's favor because I said this in the preview. St. Louis is not a very good 5-on-5 team. And especially on the road, they were an okay road team this year. They were solid, not spectacular, middle-of-the-pack road team. They don't have the arsenal, especially with them playing with the lineup that they did tonight. They're going to struggle to match up and get advantageous situations. Tonight, you and I were watching it. They kept trying Colorado's third line against Robert Thomas in particular.
Yep.
I haven't looked at the numbers, just given how the flow of the game went. Didn't go well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I swallowed a frog.
Oh, geez. Let's get to some super chats.
I swallowed a frog.
$2 from Towering Flesh. Meghan,
no.
stop with the bad juju.
I don't even remember which one
Yeah.
I said.
Who knows where that was in the show?
It was the Sam Girard.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He'll
if
be
he's
fine.
hurt, it's obviously your fault to have said something about it after chat spent 10 minutes on it.
It's because Mercury is in Gatorade.
Don't get me started.
Look, after the whole peeing the Arby's employee that peed in the shake machine thing, that was the first thing I thought of. That was the first thing I thought of.
Not once, but twice.
Yeah.
Gross.
That was the first thing that I thought. I was like, dude, Mercury, you're out of control. Put it away.
Egg leg on Sam Girard. Can he actually spin better? Is that the play? I don't know. Anyway, $5 from Billy. Also, can we get New Hook on that third line to help out Berkey a bit and move Knack down to the fourth line? I thought
Knack
Knack
was
was
really good,
awesome
man.
tonight.
I thought Knack was
Yeah.
really good. I thought Knack was better than
Let me
JT
look at-
Compher.
yeah, I wanna
If you're
see.
gonna make a change there, I would be putting New Hook at center instead of JT Compher. Just me.
I thought Knack started off a little bit questionable in the first, but through the second and the third, the dude was making quality plays. And I would put Alex Newhook in the lineup if it were
Bro.
me with the record, but is what it is. $10 from Colton. We are never give up. That's an old one.
Word.
I like it.
Going back to
All our base are belong to us.
$2 more from Towering. More money to you guys because you all rock. Thank
It's
you.
true. We do rock.
Facts.
I'm gonna murder you.
Poorly shot TV show.
Sweet.
5 more from Billy. Weird what G can do when his back feels good, better, and isn't anchored by JJ. Second best contract on the Avs after Mac for now.
Oh,
G
I
was
don't.
insane.
I don't know. I mean, Makar's contract is already a steal.
It's looking pretty good.
Just given how the market played out around him, somehow that deal got signed and became value like 7 minutes later.
$2 from Kevin. What great game to watch, even with all the posts. Yeah, that's the stuff you live for. I honestly, even if the Avs lost that game in overtime, is there anything better in the world than playoff hockey overtime?
Yeah.
It's the best.
Game 7 playoff overtime for a team that you don't care about, where you can just sit and watch and just be like, yeah, go 3.
Yeah.
It's all good. I got
Even
DoorDash
then-
on my phone.
Even then, though, you get excited.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You get super amped up. Look, nothing's when your team loses in playoff overtime.
Brutal.
It's just not a good feels.
Yeah.
It's not a good feels.
Though the Calgary Dallas game, that was a fun one to watch. We talked about that.
It's great.
It's just all on the boards, just slow game.
Oh my
but
God.
that game 7 was awesome to watch.
Yeah, it was tremendous. Jake Ottinger, man. That's
What a
What a
goalie.
beast that guy
what
is,
an
yeah.
awesome performance that will disappear into dust in 5 years.
But what a great performance! If you look at Bennington's tonight, and you look at Ottinger's that he did in Game 7.
Yeah.
that Game 7, he was in control of that
Oh,
game.
Ottinger's making huge saves on
Yeah.
great scoring chances.
But
and
anything that came to him, it was just swallowed up. There
Yeah.
was no rebounds.
very, very,
whatsoever.
very different. Whereas
Yeah.
Jordan Binnington's flying around.
There's pucks bouncing out
Pucks are
everywhere.
just careening
Yeah.
off his body randomly, which I guess is just goaltending.
$2 from James. Keep Binnington from all the knives. Or not. Thank you very much, James. $2 more from Towering. Hot take. Binnington for Van Loser. You're stretching on that one a little bit. That's a
Working
bit of a
really
reach.
good. Just called him a loser, and I would have been with you.
$5 from Cygnus. Josh Manson is the best Manson in history. Confirmed.
Yeah, I'm just nothing quippy here. Just going to agree.
Look, there's another Manson that might have eaten a doctor, so who's to say? $1.50 from Gilbert. A slice of pink birthday cake with all right, sorry.
It's a super
A
sticker.
slice of pink birthday cake with purple icing and a candle. Thank you very much, Gilbert. $2
What?
from Josh.
I just heard my namesake I said in the bar.
I love my wife. Asterisk. I'm pretty drunk. Sorry.
This is the best super chat. The best super chat of all time. I
If he
love my
wanted
wife.
to, he
With
would.
the asterisk.
Adorable. Of course, there's always an asterisk after when you love another human being. But I'm pretty drunk. Sorry. Great. Perfect. Love
If he
it.
wanted to, he would.
There you go. Two more towering just with the $2, just popping off every 2 seconds here. All the Blues can do is ice it. Correct, TBS.
Did the game actually? Was it on TBS?
No,
Did
it's
it-
on TNT.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure with how the
Yeah,
broadcast
yeah.
and all that. I just wasn't sure how it ended up. Since I slept during the pregame.
$5 from Dan. Life and work made me miss the game, but I'm not missing the best post-game hockey podcast in the business. Y'all are the best. Hashtag Rudo boobs.
Weird hashtag,
that
but
is a weird one.
you know the walrus is allowed to do what the walrus wants.
True. Yeah, you're gonna have to donate a lot more than $5 to get the Rudo boobs out. All right. $2 from the Schick. AJ, you're a badass. Next stop, Hollywood.
No. I don't even want to go to Hollywood. I don't even want to be in Hollywood.
Your talent's too big for Hollywood.
Nah, I don't even want to set foot.
You're more of a Bollywood guy.
Yep.
Oh, there's a big done. There's a big. Now you might be talking about some Rudo boobs at that point. 70 Canadian from Dominic. He doesn't say anything. He just gives a set of $70 because he's amazing.
Thank
That's
you,
all.
Dominic.
Wow.
Ridiculous. Yeah, sure you're not.
I love that he just keeps saying, "Oh, I'm not walrus." Yeah. All right, Dan Larkin, we know better.
2 more from Towering. Correct king of the game. Naysayers be damned. I don't know which one you mean.
Josh Manson, obviously.
It's very true.
Hashtag Rudo
5
boobs.
more from Billy. Binnington didn't even play that well, was beat by 8 shots clean, and then got gift-wrapped 2 saves by an EJ and Leckflub. Yeah, we kind of talked about this.
So, could have saved us a lot of time to have just gone to that super chat
Yeah,
30 minutes ago.
to end the show.
I could.
Well said, Billy.
Thanks, Billy.
2 more from Towering. Unreal. Y'all are nuts. 5 from Chris. I have no idea how many super chats are left, by the way. I don't have access to any of that stuff.
A lot.
Oh, God. Okay. King of the game is the post with 5 big saves. Jokes aside, that was STL's best chance to steal one in DNVR. Avs in 5.
Yeah, I agree that this was their best chance
Yeah, I
to take
agree.
one in Denver.
Yep. $2 from Andrew. First playoff game today. Oh, what
Nice.
a
a good one. What a good first one. Michaela was here earlier, and her first
Yeah.
playoff game in person was Game 2 against Vegas last year. Yeah.
also a good one.
Your
We're hooked
first
now.
Avalanche playoff game that you worked was
That Cale
Game 2
Makar.
against Nashville.
Right?
Yeah.
I was very
Overtime's baby.
professional. I screamed.
In the press box.
19,000 other people did too.
Yeah.
Nobody heard anything.
$5 from Sneaker Shack. This game should have been 7-2. Blues will be blown out in Game 2.
If it ends up the reverse of Nashville and they actually do like body St. Louis in Game 2, boy, going into Game 3 is going to be tough for the Blues. That's tough. Especially because if they get bodied, that means Binnington fell apart and got blown out, and now you have a goaltending question.
I just
again.
don't see Bennington doing this back-to-back games.
Yeah, I don't see the Avs dropping 50 shots on goal in the next game, but I will leave the door open because defensively, this is exactly why I think the Blues are bad.
I mean, if 2 of those 5 posts go in, the Avs probably don't have to drop 50 shots in this game.
Yeah.
So.
Very
$5
good
from
point.
Josh. I love like the Avs miss the net a lot. there were quite a few missed shots today. It's true.
Our community's full of weird love.
$1 from Kel. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cal.
That one didn't have anything.
99 more cents from Towering. You've given us like $20 across like 8 super chats. This is wild.
Thank you, T-Flesh.
$2 from Sean. Schenn crying in the box was a sight to behold.
Dude, I thought that the ref needed like they weren't going to give him the extra unsportsmanlike, but at some point you've got to tell him to go away.
That was a little bit.
Like you've got to
too
tell
much.
like you cannot show up referees like that. That's exactly the kind of shit that gets guys in baseball thrown out.
Yeah.
Like you're not allowed to look at the ump. You're not allowed like you can like yell and be like mad as long as you turn away from him, and he just kept going at him.
And he wouldn't get in the box either.
Yeah, and he was coming. I was like, dude, this dude is gonna compound his problem by taking a 4.
I guarantee you, he's not going to get any help with calls in game 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that crew. Well, that crew. If that crew works the game again, they're gonna be like. I think it was Chris Lee and Steve Kazari tonight. So
Yep.
two veteran refs who are not gonna like that.
$5 from Austin. Binnington tantrum game coming soon.
Could be.
$5 from the Schick. Rudo, your wife is elite for not flinching on Manson's goal. Can we get a super chat counter for the playoffs? Let's prove how elite these fans are. It's already been way too many.
Yeah,
You guys
this
are
is a
insane.
Mrs. Rudo and I not reacting on overtime goals.
They did have to review it, so.
Yeah, I don't even know what for. By that
I
point,
wasn't sure.
the bar was going so crazy, we
Yeah.
couldn't hear anything
We had no
anymore.
idea.
Yeah.
It counted, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
$1 from Spence. Thank you very much. $10 from Will. I love you guys. As a Houstonian who's an Av fan, there are very few people that are interested to watch hockey with me, but the watch along saved my life. Got you. Y'all are crazy. There were like 300 of you in the watch along.
Shout out Houston,
Awesome.
Yeah.
my peeps.
The Texas people. Also, shout out everyone on there's like we peaked over 1,000 viewers on this show. You guys are nuts out here.
Salty
go
Blues fans.
Hit like and subscribe. We out here. We do this every playoff game, every regular season game. We do our stuff. So if you like it, we'll be around. $10 from Yonder Bear. Find you someone who jumps into your arms like Girard does to Manson.
Girard, very expressive for a cool guy. After his goal, you saw him use adult language, and then the way that he dogpiled into Josh Manson's soul at the end of the game. It's very expressive for him.
He's bouncy.
Hey, his foot looks fine on the dog pile play. Put it that way. If we're looking for good vibes. $2 more from Towering. Girard is day to day with an injury or no injury. Yes, as with every other playoff player.
Day to day.
Dead, alive, we don't want to confirm either one of those either.
$10 from Josh. That was the tightest my cheeks have ever been clenched. I've nearly shit a diamond. Scored the OT winner. Huge dagger in the Blues' chances.
It's just one game. Got a lot of work to do.
No way with words.
Yep.
Josh.
But yes. Poetically said.
2 more from Towering Flesh. Towering, don't take offense to this, but the way you're giving out $2 super chats feels a little bit like you got to hold a mom's credit card and you're just spending $2 at a time.
I feel like I'm being called a witch. Is that what this means?
I mean, between your astrology and the Avalanche sweep of the first round,
There's some witchy
Brujeria.
vibes, yeah.
yeah, I can at least see where he's putting some pieces together.
I'm just gonna try.
Oh,
to make
that's it.
a Hogwarts
Yeah, that's
joke,
it.
but
We're
I
done.
Can't come up with one. All right, we made it to the end.
Yeah, it was the end of the super chats.
You guys
Amazing.
rock.
What do we have anything left?
Yeah.
Overtime. Overtime was dope. Liked overtime.
What's with the giant hand coming out of the ice and grabbing?
What the fuck was that?
That Chipotle
Dude,
what the
commercial
hell?
was
Hockey
wild.
Twitter's collective response was. Everybody else saw that, right? That was not me tripping balls. That happened. That's the moment 2 million people thought their edibles kicked in.
Yeah. Didn't time it right. Thought they'd get through the game. Kicked it a little early.
What was that? That
Team Five
was.
Light Shade.
Yeah. No kidding. I don't know what that was. It was uncomfortable to watch because as it was happening, we
It
were like,
scared me. I didn't know what was going on.
"You guys seeing this? What the hell?"
Dude, everyone on the watch along loved it. Everyone was like, "This commercial is goated." I don't know. I guess I got a bunch of druggies in my chat. I don't know what to tell you.
I was just waiting for the Terminator end or something, where the hand turns around. Maybe it gives you the finger as it's going down.
See, had that not. Well, and the other thing is is this in arena or is this a
Yeah, yeah.
commercial? Because it looked like it was in arena presentation, and I was like, oh, like they're showing. What the hell is this? What's happening? I don't know. It was weird.
Okay, final thoughts then?
That was my final thought.
Final thoughts, man. I mean, you've got to feel Colorado played great, and they got goalied, and they survived. They survived like the worst luck imaginable type of game.
Yeah.
Yep.
They just kept working and working and working, and they didn't go away, and they didn't get down on themselves. And no bad feels. They just kept their head down and kept doing their thing, and it paid off for them. And again, when you're looking for reasons to believe, reasons to be excited about why this group has the potential to do something special, why it might be different from last year, that mentality, that grinder attitude with high-end skill.
And the styles of play. We've talked about that, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're comfortable playing all different types
This
of styles. This is their style,
Completely
though.
different style from what Nashville wanted to play, and they
Yeah.
were just fine. It was just as dominant.
Yeah.
So,
All right. $2 more from Tower and getting in at the end.
Thank
saying
you.
my edibles kicked in hard. Woot woot.
Fresh.
All right. Meghan, Blais, any final thoughts? Are we done?
I'm done.
the right team won. 1-0. Get outta here.
Boom. That's the only thing that matters. We love all y'all for hanging out. We're wrapping this one up. It's almost midnight, Jesus. Okay. You know where to find us. We'll be back tomorrow with an off day podcast. And of course, we'll be back Thursday, pregame, watch along, postgame. Hopefully, I will be back in the bar for Thursday. I better be, put it that way.
Yeah, I may or may not be here depending on how I feel about things.
Well,
'Cause
you know how it is.
Jesse was supposed to be here, and I was supposed to be at the game tonight.
Yeah,
But-
y'all swap places.
Yeah, I didn't want to be in the arena.
Well, either way, you know where to find us. You know we got you covered. We appreciate all of y'all so very much, and we are out of here.